Thank you very much, Madam CEO, and thank you very much to my colleagues. Good evening to everyone, and thank you for being here for tonight's statutory meeting. It is a distinct and profound privilege to once again find myself in this role and to have a second opportunity to serve as the leader of this council and our municipal community. I start by expressing my personal thanks to my colleagues for electing me from amongst yourselves and thereby expressing your confidence in my ability to lead this council and community once again as mayor. Without your confidence and support, I would not have had this immense privilege and honour, and for that I thank you all profoundly. On behalf of the whole council, I take this opportunity to recognise the service of my dear friend and our outgoing mayor, Councillor Carly Moore. I thank you, Councillor Moore, for your service and sacrifice during the last 12 months at your third term as our mayor. Drawing on your considerable experience and skill, you once again demonstrated dedication and commitment to our collective goals as a council. We have worked incredibly closely to pursue and achieve what I believe to be very many common goals and aspirations for this council and city, and I thank you for the consultative and open way that you have gone about serving us as mayor. I'm honoured to have you as my colleague and friend, and I'm in no doubt that you will continue to support me as I continue to turn to you for your wise counsel and guidance in discharging my own duties. To our outgoing Deputy Mayor and my dear friend Councillor Sam Michaud, thank you for your service to this council and community. Last year you received the rare honour of receiving one of our two senior leadership positions after only 12 months as a councillor. And yet in the last 12 months you have proven in spades that our decision to elevate you to Deputy Mayor was the right decision. As Deputy Mayor, you have served with passion and dedication, supporting our outgoing Mayor in countless official functions and events, chairing meetings when required, and frequently making a notable contribution to the policy work that we do. You have been an excellent Deputy Mayor, and I speak on behalf of all of my colleagues in thanking you for your service. Councillors and guests, I have never sought this role simply for the sake of holding it. I believe strongly in the power of government at all levels to make meaningful contributions that make people's lives better. As an organisation, we do this by ensuring that we are open and transparent, that we deliver ambitious critical infrastructure projects to support a growing community, that we invest in renewal of ageing assets to support our established communities, that we deliver efficient and effective services for infants and children, for youth, seniors and families, that we protect and enhance our environment, that we support learning, that we create the conditions for business confidence and economic prosperity, and that we cut red tape and ensure that doing business with us is easy. To do all these things, we need a high-functioning and strategically focused councillor group and a well-run and community-oriented organisation. With the support of my colleagues and serving as the first mayor in this term in 2020, I'm proud to have ushered in the most significant and substantive structural reforms since this organisation's inception in 1994 under the leadership of our new CEO, Sheena Frost, and our new executive and senior management teams and structures. Under the reform agenda we have fashioned and building on the many successes of previous councils and executives, this organisation is well on the way to putting the resident back at the centre of all that we do. We're on the way to fixing internal structures and processes that lead to more timely infrastructure delivery, improving strategic planning processes to deliver on things like the next stage of Broadmeadows renewal and revitalisation, and critical new infrastructure in the Northern Growth Corridor, including new library and aquatic and leisure services, and harnessing the power of technology to create better user experiences, from booking a community facility to using one of our libraries to reporting an issue and paying an invoice, and so much more. It was and is my conviction that these reforms needed to be initiated to prepare us to address the unique and critical challenges this city faces and will face into the future. The most significant of which is to address the growth challenges of the booming Northern Growth Corridor. So significant are the infrastructure commitments of this council that to this end we have invested more than $558 million of ratepayers' money over the next 4 years on 500 projects across this city. Indeed, over the next 12 months alone, we have invested $101 million to deliver new community infrastructure, including new or upgraded sporting reserves, parks and playgrounds, roads and footpaths, and new community centres. You'll see these all around you if you live and work in this city. As new parents, my wife Sheena and I have seen firsthand just how important local and accessible services are, particularly as parents of a young daughter, baby Larsa. During the course of this mayoral term, not only will dozens of new projects commence, but we will also deliver the following key infrastructure projects. The duplication of Aitken Boulevard between Marathon Boulevard and Grand Boulevard, a $9 million project. The Merrifield West Pavilion, $3.2 million. The Merrifield South Community Centre, $7.6 million. The Calcallo Central Community Hub, almost $10 million is that project's total value. The Seabrook Reserve Major Play Space, a component of the wider Seabrook Reserve redevelopment, $3.3 million. And we will also ensure significant progress on the long-awaited Sunbury multi-deck car park. We'll also deliver Stage 1 of Progress Reserve in Coolaroo, a $1.4 million project, the Bridges Recreation Reserve, an $8.6 million project, and Stage 1 of the Mount Holden Master Plan, a $1 million project. Over the next 12 months, I will continue to prioritise much of the agenda I have pursued and hope to deliver on since coming to Council in 2016. This includes throwing open the doors of community facilities and spaces and making access cheaper and easier, addressing the scourge of gambling harm through progressive policies, strong advocacy and community engagement, seeing and hearing the unique needs of our culturally and linguistically diverse communities and delivering and engaging meaningfully on issues of importance to them, and applying a social justice lens to all of our policies and programs to ensure that the working people of Hume are supported towards lifetime well-being. This year, I will prioritise bringing to fruition the next stage of Broadmeadows redevelopment and revitalisation. I'm determined to work with my colleagues to deliver an ambitious and coherent vision for what comes next in Hume Central. The pioneering vision and cooperation that saw a global learning centre built, an upgraded town hall, a council headquarters delivered in Hume Central today compels us to progress full steam ahead to make up for the delays of recent years in delivering on Broadmeadows revitalisation. And I must recognise the efforts of Frank Maguire, MP, the state member for Broadmeadows, over many years in contributing to that vision, and I'm sure he will be a supporter of the next steps of that vision into the future. I've lived in Melbourne's northwest my whole life. During the last 6 years, not only have I had the privilege of representing one of Australia's fastest growing communities, I've actually lived at the heart of one with my family. We've personally experienced the challenges that many residents living at the heart of a growth area face. I'm personally invested in the success of the people of Hume and the success of this city, and I will harness personal insights derived from lived experience to inform my contribution to public policy and decision-making in this role. Like my wife and I before them, in the next 10 years alone, we expect to welcome more than 70,000 new residents to come to Hume. Therefore, we will continue to prioritise significant planning to ensure that we have the right infrastructure in place. While Council will continue to advocate to our partners in the Victorian and Commonwealth governments for investment, I'll prioritise working with my colleagues and Council Executive to ensure that we are prepared as an organisation to pitch big ideas, to harness existing funding opportunities, and take a proactive approach to meeting the needs of these communities in the new frontier of Melbourne. Nothing, councillors, exercises more passion, frustration and sometimes anger in our community than illegal dumping and an unsightly environment. Like thousands of other residents, I'm tired of seeing our natural and built environments defaced and destroyed by what I wish I could say was a small number of people. Sadly, far too many individual residents and businesses are engaging in this unconscionable conduct, which is why tonight I declare all-out war on illegal dumping in Hume City. Drawing on the provisions of our draft waste strategy and harnessing the power of our forthcoming local laws review, we will utilise infringements, prosecutions and all other reasonable means at our disposal to come down like a ton of bricks on those selfish and arrogant enough to engage in this conduct. The buck stops with me, and I will pursue a zero-tolerance approach to attack the culture that has crept into large parts of a community wherein people believe this illegal and immoral conduct is acceptable. While they may be happy to live in a tip, I am not, and I'm confident that the majority of the community are with me and my colleagues in our resolve to address this issue once and for all. To achieve the ambitious agenda this Council has laid out and deliver on the needs of the community, our Council must work in a spirit of cooperation, understanding and compromise, and we must prioritise strategic thinking. To my colleagues, I look forward to working with each of you in the spirit outlined, because our success will be the success of the organisation and of the community. I welcome your ideas, I welcome your constructive criticisms, and I ask that you always put the people of Hume first. As a believer in the philosophy of servant leadership, I strive to put service and sacrifice at the heart of all that I do. To my lovely wife Sheena, to our beautiful little girl Lhasa, it's only your love, patience and support that allows me to discharge my duties. I thank you in advance for supporting my childhood aspiration to serve people and make a contribution to the community. Thank you for being an encouragement, the encouragement and strength needed to deliver on this aspiration, and thank you for your patience in advance. And finally, I wish to thank the parliamentarians, past mayors and councillors, faith and community leaders and residents who've joined us here this evening. Your presence is very much appreciated, and I look forward to catching up at the civic reception. I don't know, Madam CEO, how long I've been speaking for, but I'm sure it's more than enough, so I don't want to terrify my colleagues any further. I've said enough for now. I want to thank you, councillors, once again for giving me this great honour, and please be assured that I will work tirelessly to prove myself worthy of your trust. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is customary that at the end of the election of a mayor, we provide the opportunity to councillors to say a few words should they wish to do so, and the floor is open to councillors to do so if they wish.